This is a battery. True to millions of American workers, it's simply a piece of plastic attached to a drill or other power tool. And once it's running, it's done. It's even more appealing to see that its price is such a bargain, just over $20. But few people know that this is the beginning of a series of mistakes and even danger. The truth is, some knockoff batteries look like the real deal, advertised as 6 amp hours with great confidence. But in reality, they're a dozen minutes behind the original batteries. Some batteries only last a little over 25 minutes, while the original batteries last nearly 40 minutes. Worse still, with batteries that lack proper protection. Encountering cutters or grinders can cause them to overheat, run out of steam, or even smoke. And then you lose not only money, you could lose the machine. Or worse, you could lose your safety at home. In this video, I'll help you understand. Don't buy batteries like someone who's tempted by cheap prices. Buy batteries like someone who knows what they're doing. And trust me, you'll save more than you think. Why are millions of people using the wrong batteries? Is it due to a lack of knowledge, a lack of trust, or some other reason? It's simple, because everyone gets their nose pointed in the same way. What was the first mistake? Buy at price. The original battery cost $90 a unit. Just looking at it makes you want a heart attack. What about knockoff batteries? $22. It looks exactly the same. It says 6 ampere hours properly too. So my brain switched to rationalization mode. Oh well, buying 4 of them is cheaper than buying one from the manufacturer. What's the harm in not buying them? That sounds perfectly reasonable. But that kind of logic is often a trap. Second mistake, guessing the intestines by looking at the shell. There were batteries of the same size, which looked like they were hand-compressed when you picked them up, but they were completely different inside. Some tablets are only 1.5 ampere hours. Others, 2.0 ampere hours. Indistinguishable from the outside, but they are as different from riding a motorbike or a bicycle. And you only realize it when the battery breaks midway through the work. I was both annoyed and out of place at the time. The third, most painful mistake, believing the 6 ampere hour letter on the label. Some knockoff companies claim 6 ampere hours, which sounds impressive, but when tested, the actual power output is only around 75 watt-hours, with some even dropping to 54.7 watt-hours, while Milwaukee batteries actually cost around 113 watt-hours. To put it simply, it advertises 6 amp-hours, but in reality, it's like an imaginary version of 6 ampere hours. And the fatal mindset here is, I'll just use it lightly. It'll probably be okay. Yes, that's right. Drill a few screws, and it will work. But when attached to a grinder or heavy-duty tool, the battery can shut off for a few minutes, or even smoke. By then, you won't have saved a single penny. You'll just be going from losing money to losing sleep. Have you ever bought cheap batteries and thought to yourself, it should be okay? Right. I used to too, and I already regret it. But wait, the problem isn't over yet, because the next question is worth the money. So, what specifications do you ultimately need to look at to know if a battery is good or a junk battery? Oh, and if you find yourself being hit by this exact song, click subscribe, not to support me, but to avoid having to buy that stupid battery again. I have to admit, is the sweetest trap in the world of power tool batteries. Why is that? It's like those supersized burger commercials. But when I opened the box, I found the burger looked like a child's toy. Looking at the numbers is great. You only realize you're being cheated when you use them. What is It's simple. Is a promise on paper. This battery has a capacity of 6 ampere hours. Buy it. But the problem is, 6 ampere hours doesn't tell you how powerful it is. And more importantly, how long it runs when subjected to heavy work. What you should look at is watt-hours. Watt-hours is the gasoline in the tank. It's what determines how many planks you can cut, how many holes you can drill, and whether the tool will run out of steam midway. Here's an easy-to-understand example. Milwaukee has an XC 6.0 high-output battery that produces 108 watt-hours. The XC 8.0 high-output battery looks almost identical, the same size, but it delivers 144 watt-hours. It means the same shell, but inside it's the same. One guy eats regular rice, another eats beef steak every day. Just think about it. If you spend money on a battery without looking at watt hours, it's like buying a car without asking how many liters of gas there are. If you think a machine is beautiful and a good price, then kumquat. By the time you're working, the machine is getting weaker. Then it shuts off. Only then do you understand how unpleasant it feels to be betrayed. The most frustrating thing is that many people buy cheap batteries. Look at the 6 amp-hour label and think they're smart. But in reality, there are advertised 6 amp-hour batteries where the real watt-hours is only a fraction of the original battery size. That means you're not saving money. You're just paying for a lie printed in beautiful ink. Which battery are you using? Have you ever looked at watt-hours before buying it? But WH is just the tip of the iceberg, because the next thing that causes the most money loss is the battery. They're all batteries, but the cells inside are worlds apart, and that's why some batteries run as cool as the wind, while others get as hot as a gas stove. Many people buy batteries in a way that, just because the casing looks the same, they think they must be the same. Yes, that sounds reasonable, but life is harsh. Batteries are like sausages. They look the same on the outside, but it's the inside that determines whether you eat well or finish it, clutching your stomach. Milwaukee offers several battery lines that look almost identical in size, but in reality, they use 2 different types of insoles, the 18650 and the 21700. Don't be afraid of those numbers. Simply put, 21700 means the cells are bigger, stronger, and can withstand loads better. Older CP, XC, or 5.0 series batteries often used 18650, so you'll see the same battery type with capacities ranging from 3 ampere-hours, 4 ampere-hours, to 5 ampere-hours. As for the high-output line, Milwaukee switched to the 21700, which means the same battery, but like switching from a 4-engine to a V8. Heavy-duty tools are completely different, especially fuel or electric food, like large saws or drills. But the best part is, you don't have to believe me. Believe the numbers. In the internal battery exploration test, the knockoff battery measured the inside, with an internal resistance of around 12.9 to 13.4 milliohms, while the Milwaukee battery only measured 5.9 milliohms. Speaking of life, the lower the internal resistance, the stronger the battery, and the less likely the tool is to run out of steam. A high internal battery is like drinking diluted coffee. It's still coffee, but after drinking it, you just feel annoyed. That's why there's this scene. Both score 6 AH, but one side runs cool and strong, while the other side heats up like a lump of coal and dies in the middle of the game. Have you ever encountered a scene where you're drilling perfectly? The machine suddenly becoming weak and lifeless. Then wait, that's not all. Here's the next funny mistake. Many people buy high-quality batteries, but attach the wrong tools and use them in the wrong place. And that's when your money flies like smoke. If that's so true, then subscribe gently. Consider it insurance for your wallet. The biggest mistake many people make isn't buying cheap batteries, but buying good quality batteries and then using them clumsily. It sounds a bit harsh, but it's true. It's like you fill up your airplane with gas and put it in the lawnmower. It didn't fly up, it just cost money. The most obvious examples, lights and vacuum cleaners. I've seen many guys buy high-output batteries, attach them to their work lights, and then stand there like, why is it still as bright as before? Congratulations, because that's right. The light doesn't get brighter just because the battery is more expensive. The same applies to non-fuel vacuum cleaners. Insert the HO battery. You won't suck any harder. You're just holding a heavier battery and fooling yourself into thinking you're upgrading. To put it bluntly, these kinds of tools only need duration, not muscle. But the second mistake is even more dangerous, using low batteries for heavy tasks. And this is when your tool turns into a toy. Circular saw fuel is a prime example. This one was born to eat electricity, and even with regular batteries attached, it can still run. But it runs like an old man climbing stairs, breathing so hard his lungs feel like they're going to fall out. While using high-output batteries, especially those with higher quality cells, We'll take advantage of the fuel architecture and generate more power and cut more. Want max power? Max cuts? Play HD 12.0 now. But if you work all day without wanting to carry a dumbbell, the XC 8.0 is a very reasonable balance. Superhog is the same. This is a tool for eating electricity, similar to drinking beer. If you want value for money, go for HD 12.0, but if you want to avoid fatigue, go for XC 8.0. Do you see the problem? Not all batteries are for every tool. Using the wrong battery makes a waste of money, while using a fake battery is dangerous. What batteries are you attaching to your saw, drill, and grinder? Or are you mixing it haphazardly for convenience? And wait, here's the fun. Next part. Knockoff batteries aren't just weak. They can sometimes smoke, shut off automatically, or fail within seconds under heavy load. If you ever thought it would be okay, then you'll want to listen again. There's a rather humiliating truth that many people don't want to hear. Old, scratched, brand new batteries that look like they just came back from a construction site can still be smashed to death with brand new fake batteries. And this isn't meant for fun. It has decent data. In the test, they brought in a 5-year-old Milwaukee 5.0 battery, the kind that has been charged and discharged hundreds of times, the kind of battery you'd think would just be discarded. But no. It continued to run under heavy load and lasted for 28 minutes and 40 seconds. Hours compared to a brand new, pristine knockoff battery. LabTech, the best rated among the fake teams, ran for 25 minutes and 20 seconds. This means the new fake battery is still nearly 3 minutes behind the old brand's battery. As for Amatic, well, never mind. It only ran for 15 minutes and 50 seconds. A 6-amp-hour advertising battery that lasts that long is like buying a double beef burger and biting into bread. And here's the slap in the face to those who are tempted by cheap prices. You buy fake batteries because you think you're smart, because you think you won't be ripped off by the company, but what are you ultimately doing? You're paying for something less important, something that's going to run out of power faster. And when it comes time to get serious work done, it leaves you in the middle of the road. Honestly, that feeling of drilling smoothly and the battery suddenly dropping, it's not just frustrating, it also makes you feel cheated, and cheated by the very thought of buying cheaply to be smart. This is why middle-aged Americans often say, old but gold. High-quality items sometimes look old, but they still work. Cheap items may look new, but they reveal their true form under heavy load, zero. Have you ever bought cheap batteries and then consoled yourself? It'll probably be okay, right? And wait, if you think the issue is just about whether it's weak or strong, then the next part is scary. There are fake batteries that are not only weak, but also heat up, smoke, and even die within seconds of encountering a grinder. If you haven't subscribed yet, click lightly, not to support me, but to avoid having to learn this lesson in a garage fire. Then, here's the part where I'm being honest. Anyone using knockoff batteries should listen carefully, because this is no longer about low or high batteries. This is about safety. That kind of real safety, not safety in your heart. In the test, they used knockoff batteries with an angle grinder, what I jokingly call a battery-eating monster. It's not like drilling a few screws. If a grinder is running on a heavy load, it will draw electricity like it's smoking beer on a holiday, and the result, exactly the kind of thing that makes you want to get angry. LabTech, the knockout type considered the best, lasted 1 minute and 52 seconds before shutting down. That sounds okay. Right. But wait a minute, because Amatiki is the funniest performance of the year. Amatiki broke down after 10 seconds. Yes, you didn't hear me wrong. 10 seconds. I don't know if to call it a battery or a decorative thing. 10 seconds and a 6-amp-hour advertisement is like selling a 60-liter gas tank, but being able to fill it with 2 bottles of mineral water? Then came 10 more. 10 more ran for 3 minutes and 33 seconds, which looks better than LabTech at first glance. But here's the twist. It's smoking, incredibly hot, and showing signs of internal damage. To be frank, 10 more isn't durable. It's a type of battery that doesn't shut off automatically, so it tries to run until it self-immolates. Meanwhile, The genuine Milwaukee 6.0 ran the grinder for 6 minutes and 38 seconds. That means almost double the number of knockoffs who finished second. And more importantly, no smoke, no drama, no smell of burning plastic. Do you see the difference? Knockoff can die beautifully, like running out of battery and then shutting off. But there's also the dirty kind: heat up, smoke flies, and you start wondering, do you have a fire extinguisher in your garage? That's not all. There's an even more malicious test: short circuit. Short-circuiting the two battery terminals. Lab tech shut off at 112 amps, but there was still light smoke. Amatika reached 123 amps, but took nearly 8 seconds to drop to zero, producing heavy smoke and being deemed unsafe. What about Milwaukee? It goes up to 390 amps and then shuts off properly. 390 amps sounds scary, but it's actually like a car with airbags. Dangerous, but at least it knows how to save itself before you get enough. The question is, do you want your battery to shut off when there's a problem, or do you want it to try to run until it burns out? And that's why the next part is extremely important. How to buy the right batteries. Avoid money traps, and choose the right ones for the tool you're using. If you find yourself making one of these mistakes, please subscribe gently, not to make me happy, but so you don't have to study this lesson smelling burnt. And this is probably the part that many people need the most. After watching those scenes of batteries smoking, everyone will ask the right question. So, which battery should I buy now? And the answer is, don't buy batteries based on emotion. Buy according to the type of work you do. That's all. Not complicated. First, remember this survival principle. Any tool that consumes electricity must be powered by the correct amount of battery. Tools like circular saws, grinders, heavy drills, like fuel drills for construction projects. Don't be disappointed. Prioritize high-output batteries, as they are designed to pull loads. If you insert a low battery, the tool will still run, but running it with or without power is also fine. You'll waste time and energy, and the battery will also fail quickly. Conversely, things like lights, vacuum tubes, or other items that only need to run for a long time and don't require much force. Don't be tempted by high output. The HO battery attached to the light didn't turn up any brighter either. It only makes you poorer. For lightweight tools, choosing a battery that prioritizes battery life is sufficient. Now, let's be frank about some common traps. Don't buy CP 2.0 anymore. I know many people like it because it's compact, but the price is just a case of battery industry narcissism. A single CP 2.0 tablet can cost $89, while a pack of two CP 3.0 high-output tablets costs only about $99. That means an extra $15, and you get two newer, more powerful, cooler-running batteries. Buying CP 2.0 right now is like buying an old iPhone at the price of a new one, just out of habit. The XC 5.0 is the same. If you already have some, just use it all up. But if you buy a new one and still spend money on the XC 5.0, well, I'll just be rude. The XC 6.0. High output is only about $10 more, but it's more powerful and better value for money. To put it simply, heavy tool equals HO. Lightweight tool equals long battery life. Don't buy used batteries at new prices. Which tool are you using most often? Saw, drill, or grinder? Comment down, and I'll suggest a low-cost yet effective battery combo for the right article. Generally speaking, batteries are more than just batteries. Buying the wrong battery means it's weak, overheated, prone to failure, and worse, it could bring danger home. Don't wait until you're working and the battery is completely dead, or smoking like BBQ, to begin to realize your true self. Now it's your turn. Are you using a brand battery or a knockoff battery? Have you ever experienced a battery overheating, dropping in voltage, or failing midway through use? Comment down and tell the truth, so you guys can avoid the right place. If you find this video helps you save a few tens or hundreds of dollars in wasted money, then click like, subscribe, and ring the doorbell. This isn't to support me, but so that next time you don't have to learn this lesson with your wallet and garage. This video only shares experiences and reference information. Using batteries and electrical devices can be dangerous. You are responsible for testing or purchasing them yourself. If you are unsure, use genuine batteries and follow the manufacturer's safety instructions. See you in the next video.